Welcome to the Sibyl Talk podcast with yours truly, High Priestess Maven, modern day Sibyl. Today we are starting a brand new chapter in our path, on our path. It's a time when we're going to be able to celebrate, celebrate, yes, the grandmama. Yes, grand as in magnificent, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, mama or Mami Wata. Yes, we're starting off with the honoring of the first Mami Wata or Mami Wata Sibyls, prophetesses or priestesses, as is the land. We are celebrating today. So today's podcast is brought to you by SHIPS, Sacred Heritage International Preservation Society, as well as Maven Studios. We're going to jump right in. We're going to say our salute to our ancestors, of course, to all of the Sibyls across all timelines, and of course our kinfolks, skin folks too. Y'all know how we do, as well as the little bitty babies and the big ones too. And of course to La Grande Mama and Papa of the Cosmos, we say Ashe. We say Ashe and Ayibobo. We're going to throw in a little hoodoo and voodoo on this one right here. So I want to welcome you all to this particular episode number 3 of Sibyl Talk podcast with yours truly, High Priestess Maven. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I want to give this special episode because we're going to be starting a really awesome, I'm going to say awesome one more time. Awesome marathon. Yes, we're going to have a nice little marathon, and it's going to be announced in just a bit, but let's get into the very beginning of this podcast because I want to make sure that you know that this is a extremely special podcast which is dedicated to the Mami Wata Sibyls. This is a time when many people are recognizing that the Mami Wata Sibyls are back. They never really left anywhere, but they're back on the surface. They've been underground for quite some time, and we want to make sure that we are on board with the movement. Yes, it is a movement that's going on for our Mami Wata Sibyls. I want to make sure that each one can teach one as we continue to grow with this, as we continue to be able to establish ourselves with it. I'm going to tell you right now my sippy tonic of the day. I always tell y'all what my sippy tonic is. I'm still with the water, y'all, because I am honoring the Mami Wata. It is so much that is held within the elemental of water that allows us to replenish ourselves, to refresh ourselves, and we want to be like a tall glass of water on a scorchy, hot day as a Mami Wata Sibyl, y'all. We want to make sure that the legacy that we know as the Mami of color, because I am a woman of color. I don't know if you can tell that just by my voice, but if you cannot, we are honoring the mother of color because of the fact that we have, let's just get on to it. We have went through quite a bit as women in this world, women especially of the diaspora. And a lot of times we've had to take the brunt of society on our backs. And then on top of that, not even get the fair due that we deserve as women, as mothers, as wives, as sisters, as nieces, and as general members of society, as citizens. So at this point, we're going to learn how to let people go on about the business and then celebrate self. And not just in a way where, we go do a little shopping and get a little mani-pedi and go out to one of our favorite little restaurants, whether it be vegan or whatever it is, a restaurant. No, we're going to actually go into a more esoteric style of taking care of ourselves. And a lot of people have put so much spooky pooky on the celebration and celebration of self within the spiritual aspect. They've made it seem as if it's something that is, otherworldly, and it's not anything that generally would be taken care of on an average. So it's just by the way, we're not going to do that no more. No, let me have a sip, y'all. Let's go sip and talk until we tip right now, okay? So what we're going to do as the honoring that we need to do right now, we're going to go ahead and reverence those mothers who came before us, the ancients, the ancestors, and the kinfolks, the mothers that were able to sacrifice themselves, sacrifice their sweat, their tears, their prayers, their flesh, their blood, and their bones. These women who pretty much took care of the world. And we're not just talking about in the Americas either. We're talking about all over the world. I want to share some things, and y'all know I always say this is an adult show, and to make sure I put that disclaimer out there. But I want to share some things with you that I know to be true from the stories that I've heard of women in my life, those who would be considered the matriarchs of my clan, of our tribe, our village, in the community, as well as in my own household, my bloodline, my ancestors, and the kinfolks are considered the community, the kinfolks that were around. These mothers were activists, they were priestesses, they were prophetesses, they were domestics, as well as highly educated. They were considered sharecroppers, farmers or planters. They were secretaries. They were soloists. They were evangelists. They were missionaries. They were just the pillars of society. And many of their stories, well, I'm not going to get too deep into many of them, but I want to say that many of their stories were a fresh glass of water on a hot day, as I just mentioned, and also served up as some, well, we don't want to get too graphic on here, but served up as some stuff that comes out the other end, not the top, but the bottom. So I want to make sure that we continue our simple talk in a manner that allows us to reverence these mothers. We're going to have it where it can shift from a sad story and a song to an elated story and songs. But we're going to make sure that we're going to go with the full gamut of experience. So one thing I want to talk about is how we in America have, as mothers, have allowed ourselves to really put each other to the wayside in many ways. We allowed others to speak for us for many, many years. And as we move forward in this Mami Wata, Sibyl movement, we're going to make sure that we now take back our voices. We're going to take it back. Take back our voices, because I want to make sure that you know that the King James Version of the Bible is going to be, well, I'm not going to say completely discontinued, but it is going to be shifted a bit. We're going to now start reading the King James Version of the Bible as the masters and not the servants. If many of you know this, then please bear with us for those who don't know. But I have been a spiritist, a spiritualist since birth. I grew up in a community that welcomed and nurtured the esoteric nature of self and nurtured those who walked in their giftings. But I want you to know that it was not necessarily based on a book. It was based on the nurturing and recognition of those spiritists and spiritualists who were around me and others like me when we were children, as we were growing. And we might have used the ancient text that was put out in a version by none other than the one we have come to know the name of as King James. But I'm going to get back into the announcement that I had and I talked about at the very beginning of this podcast. I'm going to be having a marathon. This marathon is going to be the spoken word audiobook dramatization called King James Demonology Shenanigans. Okay? And it's going to be dramatized by none other than those who you might have been introduced to on this platform, the grandmaier. Okay, that just means grandmas. So we're going to have Hoodoo Grandma, that's Agatha Jenkins, and Voodoo Grandmère, that's Twinnie LaRue. So they are doing the voices for the characters that are within the treaties that King James put out within his book, written in 3 books, his work written in 3 books, known as Demonology, okay, in form of a dialogue in 3 books. So these characters that King James used was named Epistemon and Philomathus. So our beloved ancestral channeling of Twinnie LaRue, that is Hoodoo Grandmère. She is reading for Philomathus, and of course, a woman after my own heart, our own Hoodoo Grandma. Both of them are after my own heart, but Hoodoo Grandma, she gets a little spirited throughout this reading. She actually is the voice for in place of Epistemon. Okay, more spirited and just going all in. So we're going to have a marathon where we're going to be sharing this work by King James called Demonology. Now, I want to get a little deeper into it because the tying this together with the Mami Wata, Sibyls. How many of y'all know, and if you don't know, I'm here to tell you that this work by King James is what I like to call a witch hunt manual. Okay, a witch hunt manual. And we're going to get more into it and more discussions about it, because as you look a little further and a little deeper into the content and the context of what he has shared within this work on how to stop and suppress the spirituality of women. This particular work was to suppress the spirituality of women. And what women? None other than the Mami Wata, the Mami Wata, Sibyls, also known as priestesses or prophetesses. That work was put out specifically to stop the Mami Watas. Okay, so as we move forward in this work, we're gonna go through and have a marathon, and this particular marathon is gonna open up so much more on the platform about this work that this infamous or famous, whichever one you want to think of it as, king put out against those who chose to practice sacred spirituality of the nature that has been given to us by God, or some might say the gods. So get ready. Starting on Wednesday, March 7th, we're going to be putting in the work and making sure this marathon moves forward with yours truly, High Priestess Maven. It is going to be all the work after my own heart. So stay tuned for more about that. Most definitely. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to get back into our regularly scheduled program as of Wednesday as well for the Sibyl Talk podcast. And we're going to recap and go over and just, even though this is a topic that can be daunting, we're just going to have some fun with it, because at this point we are liberated. We are moving forward in our freedoms, and we are bringing Mami Wata back to our own possession. We're taking it back. We're going to be talking about rituals, how to refresh yourself after you've been thrown into, let's call it the abyss by society. How to bring yourself back to a level of dignity that is like none other. Because nothing like going down into the belly of the beast and coming back out liberated. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let you go. And I'm going to say, this is modern day Sibyl, of course, High Priestess Maven, sending out all the love and all the best to you in progress. Let's get ready for this marathon on Wednesday, March 7th. And it's going to be like none other. Let's go ahead and allow the Mami Wata Spirit Sibyls to redeem themselves. So all who are a part of this movement, all who are part of this revitalization, this refreshing, resetting of the spiritual era of esotericism. We done did exotericism long enough, and we're going to still do it, but we're going to be moving a little bit more in the spirit through esotericism, through the Mami Wata essence. All right. All the best to you in progress. Once again, this is High Priestess Maven, modern day Sibyl, signing off.